What's going on, gentlemen? It's Thursday once again. I don't know really what to tell you guys. I mean, it's a beautiful day in fantasy world, and we got Thursday night football. Should be a good matchup between the Jets and the Bills. Kind of excited about that game, seeing Rex go back home and what he gonna do. Um, Other than that, we're going to wait for the Texans to play on Monday night. They always do it big against Cincy. Hopefully they get their act together and knock these guys down a peg, if you know what I mean. But let's go ahead and look at what happened last week. Let's start off with a guaranteed win I can't say every week anymore, thanks DDD, but 99 problems, but you ain't one versus Classy Strippers. Just dug deep in those Classy Strippers, man. I just motorboated the hell out of them Classy Strippers. Either way, I knew I was going to win that game. Not too much to worry about there. Moving on to Auto Draft King, Polkai Panthers versus Bull City. I think it's a consensus. We're probably going to ex-nay Moldowney as the owner of Polkai Panthers. I pretty much counting all the wins that guy plays as whoever plays that guy's going to get a win, probably. More than likely, I mean, it would take a lot for this guy not to. So, I mean, I'm just looking at some of the comments down here. Some of my favorite comments regarding this matchup with Bull City. This shouldn't be allowed. Fuck this guy. The only time he said his lineup was against me. And then, and now that I'm thinking about it, this fag rolled over for everybody else for a free win. So -1 for me, +1 for everybody else. This fucker might have been the difference of playoffs for me. Never met him before, but I hate his ass. Lazy Pugs, I feel your pain. Because I do get to play this guy one more. I get to play this guy, I think not this week, but next week. I'm okay with it. But yeah, he actually got 2 wins. So he fucked 2 people over by giving those guys losses. Picked Bull City to win that. Bull City indeed won that, considering Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch were on buys. Moving on to Chicago Chalupas, designated drunk drivers. I had designated drunk drivers winning this match, and I knew he was going to win it regardless of Antonio Brown damn near putting up a 50 pizza. I'm trying to use different foods, 40 burger, 50 pizza, 60 burrito. You know what I mean. He put up a 50 pizza pie on this motherfucker and still lost. So good on designated drunk drivers. This probably is my only... I can't say he's my only competition. I mean, Chicago Chalupas did put up 191. Chicago Chalupas still needs to worry about making the playoffs. That loss did not help his bid. I mean, he's obviously coasting at the 4th seed, but nobody wants to be in the 4th seed because they play me. I'm just letting you know. Moving on to Bolt Up Bitches, Flawless Victory. I predicted flawless victories. Little streak would end. It did. Both up bitches for the victory. Haters get Des nuts. The only other team that has the same record as Polkai Panthers, the Auto Draft King, versus Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long. Who did I pick to win this? Yeah, Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long. Mainly because Haters get Des nuts gave up a guy that got 50 points last week. Definitely would have put him in the win column there. And Haters get Des nuts. You are also with Polkai Panthers as mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. So I'll be watching your transactions from here on out. I'm not going to lock your roster. I just expect you to behave accordingly. And this is your first year in the league. Let's not have any Alejandro Hernandez moments where you dump half your roster for no fucking reason. Case in point, if you have any more questions, notify me. I'll let you know. And then last but not least, we got Don't Touch Me there versus Lazy Pugs. Who did I have winning that? I had Lazy Pugs winning that, mainly because I figured his team would play better. But, I mean, there was D'Angelo Williams going off was probably the only reason why he lost that game. So, very, very not mathematically out of it, Pugs, but you're gonna need to want to win out to get in that fourth seed of the playoffs. Well, let's go on with what we got this league this week for this league. I kind of went crazy on Mr. White for the Patriots. $10 probably would have been okay for me to grab him, but I had to go 30 on it just to make sure none of my counterparts picked him up. I really believe he was going to be a starter until Dion Lewis proved in training camp that he was the truth. Unfortunately, the truth's knee gave out, much like it did during, I think, his rookie campaign. But White was going to be the guy that got the, he was Vereen 2.0 until, until Dion Lewis showed up. So I think Mr. White will have a really good impact here on out, especially during the playoffs. That was, the transactions, no kind of, the trade deadline's over, so no real crazy trades. The only thing that really is truly important is me. I mean, with everything going on, I was almost, going on an undefeated tear, but with this win last week against Classy Strippers, there was definitely a moment when my team got to sit back, relax, and bask in the fact that I clinched a playoff berth in this motherfucker. For those of you that are too young to know what's being played, that's the Tecmo Bowl anthem. Any gamer worth his salt knows this music, unless you're a loser. So I've clinched the playoffs. I'm the only one that has done so thus far. Even if I lose every game, even the one against Polk High Panthers, I'm going to still make the playoffs. It's beautiful. Now, let's get down to the rest of you shit sippers about what you guys are doing regarding the standings. Mathematically, haters get Des nuts. Polk High Panthers out of the running. Lazy Pugs 4-5. Flawless Victory 3-6. Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long. Flawless Victory still has a chance at the damn fucking division. So he can still win the division. He's 3-6 right now. He's gonna need some help, but he's gotta win out. Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long. Designated drunk drivers has got your tiebreaker. So what you're going to need is definitely the 4th seed, which means that you're going to need Chicago Chalupas to lose out and you to, edge Don't Touch Me there. I mean, I haven't gone deep into your schedules. I do know that much, that Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long is not a division title contender. Simply mathematically out of that, but not out of the playoff race. Lazy Pugs, as you know, you're not getting there in the title. You couldn't win the title if you wanted to in our division. Classy Strippers, I forgot about you. You're also 4-5. Not mathematically out of it, but you're going to need to continue to win. Or, see you next year, buddy. That's pretty much the standings as they are. I forgot. Fantasy Stud goes to DDD. The man is a wrecking ball right now. Most Improved goes to moi. I'm a dominating force in this league, even after that speed bump I took from DDD. I'm going to come back and meet this guy head on in the playoffs and see where it goes there. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I got 3 pointless games to worry about coming up, and I guess we should get to them. I mean, we already know who the dud is. That's just a given. It's Polk High Panthers. I can't wait till next year. We might get a guy that's a little more active in the league, hopefully. Moving on to this week's matchups, we got first in the West versus first in the East. 99 problems, but you ain't one hit me versus bolt up bitches. Now, there's only one way this is gonna ride, and that's with 99 problems going 9-0. You're welcome, Western Division. You're welcome. You're gonna take down your leader a notch. Make the best of it. Next up, Chicago Chalupas versus Lazy Pugs. Like I said, this is an interdivisional matchup, a must win, especially when it comes down to, positioning for possible seeding in the playoffs. A must win for Lazy Pugs. Unfortunately, I gave it to Chicago Chalupas only because Lazy Pugs has been disappointing the hell out of me week in and week out. Chicago Chalupas for the win. AP might drop a 40 burger. Don't let Drew Brees drop a 60 burrito in this motherfucker. And you never know when Antonio Brown is going to drop that 50 pizza pie on you again. Chicago Chalupas for the win. Moving on to Auto Draft King Polk High Panthers versus Classy Strippers. Should be an automatic victory. Right? I really don't know. I gave it to Classy Strippers, but I maybe Polk High Panthers will come and put in a wide receiver and a kicker. But right now, I'd say Classy Strippers wins this by 15 to 20 points. Hopefully. It would be very embarrassing for Classy Strippers should he lose to Polk High Panthers. Haters get Des Nuts mathematically out of it, but can play spoiler to Bull City. Bull City needs no more losses. Who did I give this win to? Haters get Des Nuts, simply because he wants to be a terror for everybody else in this league, giving up Antonio Brown, Mr. Pizza Pie 50-pointer. Now Bull City has to face him, and, regardless of what's being said, Haters Gets Des Nuts team isn't awful. And it's going to take a lot of magic for Bull City to step up against Haters Get Des Nuts. Don't Touch Me There versus Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long. Easy peasy. I can't stress how much Haters Get Des Nuts is out of the playoffs. But when it comes down to Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long, he's going to do what he can to prevent his situation from becoming that of Haters Get Des Nuts. So, Don't Touch Me There is in for a bumpy ride. As long as Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long sets his lineup thus. I think Cam Newton is going to do well. Not really high on Jonathan Stewart, but Julian Edelman and LaShawn McCoy should be enough to pull this victory out for Ryan Mallett on 3rd and long. Now, designated drunk drivers, the phenom of the second half of this league, going up against Flawless Victory, who cannot lose any more games. Without Andrew Luck, every other Colt on this man's roster becomes obsolete. Designated drunk drivers gives Flawless Victory a hell of a chance to maybe beat him, because he needs this victory to stay relevant in his division. An easy division if he can win this game against designated drunk drivers. Does he do it? I gotta say no. The man is not going to win this game. DDD continues his streak, moves it on to 8, and goes on to probably clinching his division depending on some wins and losses. That's the league, gentlemen, in a nutshell. This is kind of hard for me to keep entertained. My biggest worries right now is who am I going to see in the playoffs? And after that, what am I going to do with this $1,500 I'm going to win in this league? And then after that, how soon is my championship belt going to arrive? And then after that, Who am I going to replace Polka Panthers ownership with? Then after that, I got to worry about keeping Todd Gurley, Aaron Rodgers, Julio Jones, and DeAndre Hopkins. Put a little poll up there. Y'all help me out. Who do I pick? Who do I keep in that kind of league? Gurley, Julio Jones, Hopkins, or Rodgers? Help a brother out. That's it for this week. Good luck to everybody except both up bitches. See you next week.